Welcome to PM Express Business Edition. There's been talk about recovery of the economy, but there are other significant players that contribute to the recovery of the Ghanaian economy. That's our development partners. Today, I'm grateful enough to have the head of the EU delegation to Ghana, Dana Akonzia, as we talk about Ghana and the European Union, trade, politics, development support, the economy, Brexit, and other issues that you think that is more critical to us as a country now than ever before. Madam Dana Akonzia, how are you doing, madam?
Fine, thanks.
And I hope that, how are you managing in these times of COVID? It has thrown a lot of people's work out of gear, diplomatic missions and all the rest. How has it been for you in these times like this, working in a COVID time?
Well, it has been very difficult at the beginning because nobody knew what was going to happen. We were stressed, we were scared. We had to adapt, like everybody else, to new working methods. So from one day to the other, we started working from home, like everybody else. At the beginning, the technology wasn't exactly with us because we didn't even have computers for all our people, and again, this has probably been a very common problem. But now it has become easier. We have adapted to extreme flexibility, so we can work in the office, we can work from home. It's the same for us. And well, I think that the stress and the fear at the beginning, also because the airports were closed, so there were some people that were blocked outside Ghana, some people who were blocked in Ghana. There was a certain fear and preoccupation for what would happen. I think that now this phase has passed. We are still stressed, but we have adapted to the new situation. Human beings are extremely adaptable, and I think we have all done. This does not mean that we don't miss life as it was before, where we could hop on a plane and go visit our families or to see a business contact. Mm-hmm. I think for us, international community and traveler, it has been a lot of adaptation. But we are very lucky. We haven't lost our job. We are here in Ghana where where the COVID pandemic has been, I wouldn't say kind, but it has been certainly not as bad as in other places. We are living with all the COVID measures and precautions a more or less normal life. Our children now are going to school, that we're very happy about. So all in all, I think I would say today I am feeling much better about all this than 1 year ago.
What about diplomatic relations? And you represent a lot of EU countries here in Ghana. How has it also been in terms of your diplomatic engagement? I mean, I know you like to go out a lot and inspect the project and engage your contact and also your stakeholders. Has it, one way or the other, affected your movement in trying to observe some of these projects that you are funding and also engaging your stakeholders?
At the beginning, yes. For several months, we have been either under lockdown or under very restrictive measures, so we haven't been able to engage, if not online. The engagement with the government of Ghana has never been interrupted, also because very quickly in the pandemic, the EU decided to help partners, so there have been high-level diplomatic contacts to secure our intervention. But yes, we couldn't go to launch projects or visit projects. The diplomatic parties have stopped and have not restarted. But I would say since September, we have re-engaged quite a lot with stakeholders, sometimes online, like for example in the case of the Cocoa Dialogue that maybe I would like to talk about a bit later. Yeah. But also in presence. Yesterday, for example, I participated in the launch of a program to support of circular economy and local development in the Adenta municipality. We launched 3 projects under this program with different communities in Greater Accra, and with all the COVID precautions, the stakeholders were there. And yeah, for me, it's really good when we manage to to organize still some events of course, again with security measures, because it's important also to engage with people face to face. And I plan to go and visit a few projects in the coming months, of course hoping that the numbers will allow us to travel around the country.
You made a statement earlier on about how we are okay or blessed not to be that affected that badly. So I'll be coming back to you to also find out from you, being a rep here, what do you make of how we've managed the situation as well? But you made a critical comment about your projects as well out there. I knew that sometime the World Bank had complained about the movement of projects for there that they are funding as well. For you, what do you make of the progress of some of the projects that you are funding? And are you satisfied with the rate of work, and also, let me use the word in code, value for money, to ensure that when the EU is financing these projects, it's completed on time, there's value for money, not even during the construction of the project, but post-implementation of those projects?
Well, almost all the projects have suffered delays because of COVID-19. For example, yesterday in Delta, we launched 3 new projects, but I also paid a quick visit to one that I launched already a couple of years ago. It's called Fish for Development. It's very interesting because they are setting up aquaculture for the people living in the Adenta municipality. It's very, very interesting, and it has suffered delays. But that's normal. During COVID, logistics were more difficult, transport was more difficult, people were not always available. We have the possibility within our financial rules to extend projects for some months or a year beyond the deadline that was planned. So that is not really a problem, and is reasonable. But I am not finding an impact really on the overall efficiency and results of the projects. Also, we have a lot of projects, particularly in the north of Ghana, that have been launched with a lot of delay last year, and we have now finished to sign the contract with the different implementing agencies. So that I cannot say the project has worked or not, because it's still at the beginning. But overall, I am not seeing a devastating impact of the pandemic.
I was trying to look at post-completion of a project. So for instance, if you're looking at maybe within ghost names in the public sector, which I knew that you've been supporting over the years with some projects and all the rest, post-completion of those projects, do you sit back and say, listen, we are excited as a union that we contributed in helping this problem in the country, or implementation has been a little bit of a problem on the part of the other stakeholders?
It is difficult to generalize. I'm not going to say that all projects are perfect, but in general, I have always seen a positive impact. I can give you an example of a project that was closed at the end of last year, our anti-corruption program, ARAP. It was quite a big one, because we contributed 20 million euro. It was implemented by FIAP, which is a Spanish cooperation agency, and it has worked with a lot of institutions in Ghana, with SHRAJ. It has helped them for their anti-corruption strategy, with the judiciary, with the police, with the NCCE, with the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, with the Office of the Prosecutor, of the Public Prosecutor. So really, with a lot of agencies, with the idea of strengthening them, giving them training, giving them equipment, so that they could do their job of checking, keeping the government accountable better, of enforcing the law, also of respecting human rights, because we, for example, the project contributed to the new standard operating procedure of the police. So I cannot now, few months after the end of the project, say this project has changed the life of the judiciary. But what I can see is that they have done a lot of concrete things in these institutions. And I have got a lot of positive feedback from the institutions that it has supported that it has helped them, it has strengthened them. There will be an evaluation later on, but for the moment I am very satisfied with this program because I think that it strengthened the institutions, it strengthened via the NCC the awareness of the corruption problem. It spurred a debate on what Ghana can do to fight against corruption, and it was not perceived as foreigners giving us lessons, but we were really trying to strengthen the institutions in Ghana that were supposed to do their job. So I think this kind of intervention is very positive, and we will continue to do it in the future, probably in different forms and different ways.
When President Obama came to Ghana, he talked about the fact that it's about building strong institutions. Do I get that, Madam, you also support the analogy that in fighting against corruption, it's about building strong state institutions, or what do you think is one of the surest ways in fighting corruption here in Ghana?
Fighting corruption is a very long-term battle, I would say. There is no one magic bullet, no one size fits all. There are different components. Building strong institutions as well as public education are certainly two of the elements. This Arab project financed the campaign from NCC on, and there were these big posters around town, "Thank you is enough." So the citizen has to know that when he or she gets a service from a government agency, he doesn't have to pay. It has to say thank you. So this was the idea behind it. So there are different things to be done, and the institution is one of them. The digitalization that I know is strongly promoted by the government is also one aspect, because it eliminates the human contact that then generates the corruption. Good regulation and legislation with clear rules, so there is not a lot of space for individual interpretation that then in turn can leave space for favors to be asked or to be given. I think it's a conjunction of measures and of continuous commitment that every country, because we are talking about Ghana here, but we could talk about any country in the world, including Europe, every country has to fight this battle for itself. And in the European Union institutions, we also have our own measures to make sure that things are done properly and that procedures are respected. So everybody has to watch within its own house to make sure that things are done in the right way.
What about government? Are you satisfied, or you think that there's still more room for improvement?
You mean in the fight against corruption?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Now you're asking me a difficult question, because then tomorrow they're calling me and they're going to say that I'm criticizing them or not. As I said, it is a very, very difficult battle to fight. So there has been commitment. We have heard several times the president say that no, it's going to fight against corruption. There have been measures taken, particularly, as I said, from the front of the digitalization, the driver licenses, the port, a lot of electronic payments have been promoted, which also help, because when the payment is electronic, the trace is left, and corruption always likes to have a lot of money, a lot of cash circulating. The government has also strengthened some of the institutions, like the FIU, the Financial Intelligence Unit in the central bank. It has cooperated very well with in the fight against money laundering with the institutions, international institutions that are monitoring it. So I think that all in all, a lot of things are going on, but it is not for me as European Union ambassador to pass judgment, have they done enough or not. I think that there are a lot of there are the citizens and there are the media watching in Ghana that are passing this kind of judgment.
But do you think that the CSOs, I mean, all the other actors are also being strengthened enough to contribute as well to this?
Ghana has a strong civil society, so everyone who wants to watch over the government, I think that they can. I follow a lot of debates, public debates. The government is criticized freely by the CSO. So who wants to watch and who wants to control certainly can. And on this, I have to commend the government for maintaining a public atmosphere that favors and facilitates the freedom of expression. So I don't think that anyone in Ghana feels that they cannot speak about corruption or about anything else. I see a lot of free flow of information out there, and this is very positive because somehow the government is held accountable, and ultimately if the citizens are not happy, they have the vote.
You talked about money laundering, and I knew that recently the European Union placed some restrictions on Ghana. When is this restriction going to be lifted?
Soon, very, very soon. It's a question of the people from FATFA that is this international anti-money laundering watchdog, of which Ghana, via the regional organization, is also a member. They should try to come here and make an assessment of Ghana. I hope that they can come as soon as possible, but Ghana has made a lot of progress, and very soon they will remove Ghana from their list. And when they remove Ghana from their list, the European Union is going to remove Ghana from its list.
You made a comment that got me excited when you said very soon. Maybe that will be all other things being equal next quarter or something?
It depends on when these officials from FATFA can have this fact-finding mission in Ghana. I don't know if they will come or they will have it remotely. It's really a question of organizing, but they are ready to remove Ghana from the list.
Some people often say that the European Union is quite tough on developing countries like Ghana. What do you make of these concerns?
What do you mean, quite tough?
That tough as in like when an example is this money laundering issue and the issues that went behind it and between the council and all those things, and people think that not Ghana, but sometimes developing countries, European Union is very tough on them and some of these sanctions and all the rest.
Well, fighting against money laundering and terrorist financing is everybody's interest, not only the European Union or some other developed country. This is a transnational crime. What happens in Ghana or in any other country affects everybody else. So if in this kind of field there is a weak link in the chain, it has to be addressed. I don't think it's a question of being tough with developing countries. I think it's a question of trying and close the loopholes for these criminals wherever they are in the world. And that's what the European Union, based on the work of these other international bodies, is doing. And Ghana, in fact, subjected itself voluntarily to the review from FATFA.
Yeah.
So, because for Ghana as well, it's extremely important to fight money laundering and terrorist financing. Ghana has a terrorist threat very close to its doorstep, and they have all interest in making sure that the dangers of it are properly addressed. And I think that's also why the country reacted and cooperated so well in this procedure, because they understand that it's in everybody's interest.
And I asked this question because in Ghana's case, the argument was that they had made so much progress in correcting some of these loopholes, and the last action that they expected from the union was the strike.
Yeah, I understand. I also heard this argument. Again, I want to stress that the European Union bases itself on the evaluation of FATFA. We don't do it autonomously. So it was FATFA that decided that in spite of all the progress, there were still some issues to be addressed, and put Ghana on this list, and we had to follow. But again, hopefully this is soon going to be finished.
Madame Diana Akonshia, she is the head of the European Union delegation to Ghana, as we engage on Ghana and the EU, trade, politics, Brexit, economic, and all the other critical issues, as well as COVID-19. We take a short commercial break and be right back. This is PM Express Business Edition. Welcome back to PM Express Business Edition, as we talk about Ghana and the European Union, politics, trade, economy, COVID-19, and future relations as well. Madam Akonshia, thank you so much for engaging us. Let's talk about COVID-19. In your earlier remarks, you talked about how excited you are in terms of how things have been managed. What is it about Ghana that got you a little bit excited about how things have been done with COVID-19?
Well, Ghana has been hit and taken, I wouldn't say by surprise, because when Ghana was hit, something was already going on. And that's maybe the key to Ghana's good reaction to COVID-19. They were ready when COVID-19 last March came to Ghana. And so the system reacted very promptly. Ghana locked down even when there were very few cases, probably to have the time to prepare, to set up the contact tracing system, to set up the testing system. And then when it gradually reopened, yes, there were cases, and the second wave has been worse than the first one. But all in all, the country was ready. So the reaction at the end of the day was quite good. It is still not so clear why Africa has been hit by COVID, but all in all less hard than Europe or the US. But there is no denying that the reaction of the country has been quite impressive. I am very satisfied with the data that the government publishes, for example. It's very transparent. We can see every day how many people have been tested, how much is the positivity rate, how many cases, how many recoveries, and so on and so forth. And I think this is quite reassuring also for the citizens. The president has been communicating with the citizens also very well. I think the fact for Ghanaian, I'm not Ghanaian, but I can imagine if I was Ghanaian, to see my president, my leader, coming regularly on television to talk to us, to inform all of us on what is going on, what the government is doing, what they are going to do, is reassuring and shows that the government cares. So this is also quite positive. Apart from the president himself, the Ghana Health Service communicates, the Minister for Information also communicates, all the ministers have come out and telling everybody what they were doing in their respective ministries. I think that all that creates an atmosphere of general participation and commitment in the fight to the virus. The government has also supported those most in need, most hit by the lockdown. Of course, this has cost money. We saw it in the budget last week, but that's what basically everybody else has done, and that's what needed to be done. Governments needed to use their resources to support those in need and to avoid a complete crash of the economy, and that also has been avoided.
Do you think that we could do a little bit more than what we've done so far, or looking at the current challenge? Well, so far so good, but there might be little room for improvement.
Look, you are not going to change your economy from one day to the other. Nobody is able to do that. The government has also rightly so prioritized the building of hospitals, but it's not that you build the hospitals, with like this. So there will be some time. The systems for the testing system, for example, the laboratories have been strengthened. Now, at least in Accra, you can get a COVID test very easily. The private sector has been involved in the effort, which is also very good. So there's the public hospitals, but there are also the private clinics that are participating. A lot of good things have been done. I wouldn't have any specific suggestion for a country that we know very well has certain budgetary constraints, and I think within the budgetary constraints, they are really doing whatever they can do. Ghana has also been quite good in harnessing the support from the development partners. So I think that what needed to be done is being done, and then of course one could always improve. People could also comply with the measures better, maybe, but that's not only in Ghana. All over the world, people are getting tired with restrictions and with wearing a mask, and you know.
I want to look at what the Union is doing in these times for the country as a development partner. There has been talk about COVAX because the deployment of vaccines and all the rest. What is the European Union doing in these times to support the country's recovery? First, maybe let's look at the area of vaccines. Well, is the European Union contributing to the support to Ghana to help manage the spread of this pandemic?
Well, let's take a step back to last year when the pandemic hit. You know that in the European Union we were for a moment stunned by its strength that hit some countries very, very hard. But just after, thinking end of March or April last year, the European Union realized this is a global issue. We need to support our partners to fight against this pandemic, because either we all fight or there will be no way to defeat it. So a big effort was launched by the European Union. We called it Team Europe because the European Union and the European Union member states put together their financial effort to help the partners. And more than 30 billion euros were put together to distribute in strengthening the health systems around the world, giving humanitarian aid, and also helping the countries to withstand the economic consequences of the pandemic. Already at that time we had understood that the economic hit will be very, very hard. So Ghana was one of the beneficiaries of these efforts. We put together 87 million euros to give an emergency budget support to the government. So last year in September we signed with the government this grant, 87 million euros, one-off, to be used by the government of Ghana for whatever use they consider appropriate. That's been our greatest contribution. But we have also tried to mobilize the projects that we have all around Ghana and the partners in the Ghanaian society that we work with to reorient some of our activities towards fighting against COVID-19. You have to know that last year we were at the end of a budgetary period. It means that we had a pot of money that ended in 2020. This year we are looking at how to use the new pot of money that is going to come. But so last year it was very difficult to find fresh money because there was not any. And so we did this big effort to find whatever we could re-employ for the fight against the virus. So we had several activities in Accra. We distributed masks, we distributed PPEs, we had campaigns, sensitization campaigns all around town. And some of our projects around the countries made a big effort to help the communities most in need. There were distribution of food and again of PPE material and so on and so forth. So we are very happy and proud of this support that we've given to Ghana. We are continuing. A few weeks ago, we launched a COVID education campaign in schools in Accra, which we are coupling with the environmental education campaign, because we think that one of our mottos for this crisis is building back better. So we at the same time, we also want to explain to young people that, well, we're fighting COVID, but there is also another battle to fight in the long term against climate change and environmental degradation.
But in the area of vaccines, is there anything being done for Ghana in terms of support or contributing to the UN-backed program and the COVAX, or it's a different initiative that the European Union itself is doing?
This is additional. So what I've explained until now is what we really did particularly for Ghana here, which was piloted by my office. The COVAX intervention, it is slightly different, because there, again, the European Union, together with the European member states, contributed to COVAX, which is a multilateral initiative. So we have not, until now, distributed vaccines directly to our partners, but we have contributed for a total of 2.2 billion to the COVAX, which is a multilateral initiative coordinated by Gavi and the WHO. The idea is it doesn't make sense to donate vaccines here and there, but it makes sense to create a powerful body that can buy vaccines on a very large scale, so of course to get better condition, better prices, and maximize the value for money of what has been donated. So the EU and the member states have been one of the biggest contributors to COVAX, and also they have been one of the engines behind the creation of the initiative.
So do I get from you that under your own initiative earlier on, just around 87 million 87 million euros has been advanced to Ghana under this, during this COVID period, or a little amount?
Yeah, but that's not, again, let's separate the 87 million to COVAX.
Yeah.
We have paid into COVAX, and COVAX has given the vaccines to Ghana and to the other developing countries. The 87 million have been a grant, so they are not to be given back to the government of Ghana, that has been given by the European Union to support for whatever they want to do with it.
Okay. So that must be an independent effort in supporting Ghana during these times.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It is not, the two initiatives are not, they are separate. And one of them, the COVAX, is specifically to buy and to supply vaccines to the world, basically, while the support that we've given to Ghana is part of this other initiative that I described at the beginning, so giving resources directly to the countries for whatever they want to do with them.
Madame Diana Akonsia, she is the head of European Union delegation to Ghana. You're talking about Ghana and the European Union, trade, politics, COVID-19, Brexit, political economy, corruption, and all these other critical things that the two partners can look forward to in a new future. We'll take a short break and be right back. I'll be talking about aiding the recovery of the Ghanaian economy as well. Is it a mix of vaccine deployment and stimulus package, or other things can be done? What about the union itself and Ghana? One big member is out. What does it mean for us? We'll take a short commercial break and we will be right back. Welcome back to PM Express Business Edition, as we talk about Ghana and the European Union, the future of this relation and what is going to happen. Madame Diana Akonsia, she is the head of the European Union delegation to Ghana. Madame Akonsia, I was looking at the European Union and Ghana, and recently had one big member getting out, that is UK. I mean, for some Ghanaians out there who had that colonial ties, is the relationship with Ghana still intact, or some would say maybe it might be under threat?
there is always a question on Brexit. I never managed to escape from it. Look, for the European Union and Ghana, nothing changes. Ghana is a very important partner within Africa, and Africa is an absolute priority for the European Union, politically, from a security point of view, from a trade point of view, investments. So nothing, absolutely nothing changes for us.
Some will think that because this big partner is not there, our biggest market was UK, so maybe let's forget about the European Union, that man on the street.
Well, from our side, as I said, nothing changes. From the Ghanaian side, well, in a way, the country will have to get used to the idea that from now on there is the UK and there is the European Union, and that the UK is no longer in the European Union, which doesn't mean, first of all, that the EU and the UK will not continue to talk to each other, including in Ghana, and doesn't mean that Ghana cannot keep very friendly relations with the two. Of course, when I ask Ghanaians what they think of the UK and what they think of the other European countries, they always say that UK is the close family and the other European countries are a bit more of distant cousins, which doesn't mean that we cannot be very good friends. So there are some of the countries of the EU that have a very, very strong and long-standing relationship with Ghana. I'm thinking, for example, of Germany, I'm thinking of Italy. These two countries have big Ghanaian communities living there and being established there. But there are a lot of other countries that are present in Ghana from the European Union and that are all keen, each of them on their own account, as well as together as European Union, to strengthen the relations.
What is your biggest fear? Some would say that you think that trade might be your biggest concern, as in the new Ghana-EU relationship.
Trade between Ghana and the UK was, before Brexit, about 15% of the trade between the European Union and Ghana. So now our trade, bilateral trade, will be a bit smaller, but not so much smaller. There are some European countries. Well, first of all, the European Union, taken together, remains the first or around the first, because sometimes it depends on prices and it fluctuates from a year to the other. But the European Union is the first trade partner of Ghana, taken all together. And even when you separate us, you still find several European countries in the top 10 of the partners. Yeah. So you will find the Netherlands, you will find Germany, France, Italy. So the trade relationship remains very, very, very important. And there is one thing that I really want to stress. The European Union, and now the UK, because you have an agreement with the UK, is the only partner that gives completely free access to Ghanaian products to our market. Before I said that the European Union is the only one, now I have to say the EU and the UK, which is very good. So that has not changed. I also want to stress this. And also the European Union imports a diverse range of products from Ghana. So we are not only importing oil or gold or cocoa beans. We are importing fish, we are importing fruit, we are importing processed cocoa, semi-finished cocoa products that then are employed in the European chocolate factories. So we import products which add value in Ghana. And this is also very important. The exports to the European Union are not linked to the fluctuations of the oil and the gold prices on the world market. And they create more jobs than the exports of purely primary products.
I remember recently when Ghana migrated from a developing country to a low middle income country, there was some review in your budgetary support. Earlier on, you were making a comment about waiting for another block of support for the country. Does it mean that you have revised your stance on support for Ghana post low middle income country, or you're still doing the budgetary support? Have you reviewed that, or you still cut the budget support?
No, at the moment we are not doing budget support in Ghana because
so that's still
the programs.
Stands.
No, we have no ongoing budget support program with Ghana at the moment. We did the one-off budget support last year, the COVID support, the COVID emergency support that I mentioned before, the 87 million. That's done, and that's finished. Now we are looking at what we are going to do in the next 7 years. We have defined a few priorities, so green growth, support to sustainable cities, support to cities in Ghana, governance again, security, natural resources management. Within these priorities, there will be programs that we will define together with with the member states of the European Union, because we are looking at this together, and also together, of course, with the Ghanaian government and according to their priorities. We don't know if we will use the budgetary support modality. Budgetary support is one way of giving away aid, as opposed to projects that we that will be implemented by some implementing partners. We are also looking at innovative forms of cooperation. For example, European development banks are already very strong and very engaged in Ghana in supporting the infrastructure development of Ghana. We are looking at possibilities to get capital directly to small businesses in Ghana. We have recently launched a 10 million program together with the Dutch Development Bank, FMO, that is aimed at giving support directly of the farmers, particularly in the north of Ghana, that will want to expand their business. This is very exciting for me because for me, this is the form of cooperation that we will use more and more in the future with the low middle income countries like Ghana. Ghana is a country that does not need the basic support to, for example, education or social protection. The government is doing this. But Ghana needs capital, needs investment. For me, the key question to ask when I was looking at the priorities for EU cooperation with Ghana was, how can we make Ghana more attractive for investment? Domestic, foreign, European, wherever. I don't care where the capital comes from. But how can we make so that Ghana becomes or remains, because it is already, but remains and improves, remains a very attractive investment destination? How can we help also those Ghanaians that have a very good idea, but they cannot make it happen because they don't have the capital? These are the questions that we're asking. The other question that we're also trying to address is sustainable development. So Ghana wants to transform its economy. How we can help Ghana to enact this transformation in a way that does not harm the environment, in a way that Ghana does not consume its natural resources capital, in a way also that also to help Ghana build an infrastructure which can last for the years to come, and which can be adapted to the challenges of climate change that we will all have to face in the future.
So do I get from you that the funding cut still stands because of now we are a lower middle income country, but now you're looking at directing it more to private sector funding than, or you have reviewed that funding cut because we are a low middle income country?
Sorry, there has been no funding cut because Ghana is a lower middle income country. No, absolutely, that's not a consideration.
So it wasn't true that the EU previously cut funding to Ghana because Where?
No, there has been, since I am here, there has been no funding cut to Ghana whatsoever. We do not know yet how much Ghana is going to get in terms of funding for the upcoming period that we're looking at. We're looking at 2021 to 2027. We do not have the amount of what we call the total envelope yet, because in Brussels they haven't done the maths yet. I expect Ghana got
but sorry to cut, but what I get from you that the EU is still going to support Ghana financially despite our status as a country.
Absolutely. Ghana got about 323 million bilateral cooperation in the last 7 years, and on top of that Ghana benefited from a lot of regional programs. They benefited also from the EU Trust Fund for migration, so they must have got at least 450 million from the EU. This is without counting the European Union bilateral, member states bilateral cooperation, and this is just from the EU budget.
From a DP, a development partner perspective, what do you make of the 2021 budget?
Sorry.
What do you make of the 2021 budget as a development partner?
Well, it's a budget that reflects the expenses of the COVID-19 pandemic. So the deficit has increased, but this is also a worldwide tendency. Everywhere in the world, deficits have swelled because of COVID-19. So I'm not surprised at all from this. Apart from that, I think it is a budget in line with the objectives of the country. There has been a lot of talk about the new taxes, but I also understand that the new taxes are necessary to try and enlarge the tax base, the tax network, and to have more sustainable revenues for the government, for the country. So I am not surprised that some new taxes have been announced.
I knew that you were in the past supporting a project where it was supposed to clean the public sector of ghost names. Are you still on that project, or you have closed it, right?
No, that project is finished. Now the biggest project that we have ongoing is a very big support to agriculture in the north of Ghana, of which, you know, those 10 million for the private sector are part of it. And then there are many other projects implemented all over the country, but at the moment we are not specifically looking at the project that you mentioned. That one is finished.
Our rising debt has been an issue for most of our development partners, even though government has taken some measures to deal with it. Are you satisfied, or you think that we should be a little bit hard in containing our expenditures and our rising deficit as well?
Look, I don't feel qualified to give an opinion, because you know there are economists all over the world that are arguing on whether the deficits that the whole world, the public deficits that the whole world has created to face the COVID-19 are sustainable or not. A deficit can be sustainable or unsustainable according to what the markets think of it. And the markets have been good to Ghana until now, because, well, also Ghana was very lucky that I had just issued a Euro bond before the pandemic stroke.
And they are doing another one next week as well.
And they are doing another one, and from what I understand, a very good reception from the market is expected. So for now, clearly the markets are not worried. Now, for how long the markets will not worried, or when will at some point the markets decide to have a good run on Ghana, it is very, very difficult to predict. You see what I mean? So to express an opinion on whether a deficit is sustainable or not, I think even the best economists in the world at the moment are not able to give you a reasonable answer. Economic
partnership agreement, is it still intact? Or there are threats to this economic partnership agreement with Ghana?
Absolutely intact. Trade agreements are forever if nobody stops them, and I don't think anybody wants to stop them now. So it's there. As I said before, Ghana is exporting free of duty and quota to Europe. There are a couple of projects ongoing with the Ministry of Trade, with JEPA, Ghana, with GIPC, with the Association of Ghanaian Industries to try and improve and diversify the exportable offer of Ghana. We have a program at the moment implemented by UNIDO that is trying to make a few key sectors more competitive: the fruits and vegetables, the cassava, and the cosmetic sector. So we hope that in the coming months and years we can have more Ghanaian products exported to Ghana, and most of all, more processed and diversified Ghanaian products exported to Ghana.
How do you see the future of Ghana and the European Union, as in the economic trade ties as well as political?
I see a very bright future because, first of all, on the economic side, European investors are very, very interested in coming to Ghana. And they are even more interested now that the AFCFTA has entered into force. Ghana can become a very good base for European investors to start producing products to be exported to the region and to the African market. So that's certainly a big plus. Politically, Ghana is, as I said before, an important partner, stable, democratic country that shares the same values as the EU. We are cooperating with Ghana also on security, on maritime security. Ghana is very active in the region, particularly with the presidency of ECOWAS. So it is an important interlocutor in Africa when we talk security, when we talk stability. So I can see the relations continuing as good as ever. I hope that mutual visits can start again when this COVID ends. We were to have a visit from President Akufo-Addo last year, just at the beginning of the COVID, and then because of the COVID, the visit didn't happen. So we still hope that this can happen in the future. He has been invited when he has been re-elected. The EU has observed the elections in Ghana, as you probably know. So a lot is going on, and I see again the relations becoming even stronger in the future.
Madam Dania Akoncia, I hope I got the pronunciation. That's Italian. Akoncia, that's right.
Akoncia.
Akoncia. Thank you so much for hosting us. I appreciate so much, and I believe that just like what you said, the relationship will be stronger than ever before going forward. We're looking at the Ghana and the European Union relations in the area of politics, economics, trade, COVID-19, and then the big issue in the room, Brexit as well. I know the debate will still go on, the education will still go on as in the future of these two unions together, Ghana and the European Union. My name is George Jaffe. I'm your host. Have a great day.